So hello friends, how are you? I think everyone is well. So friends, my name is Arif. Today discuss about React to-do list, coding ninja skill test, how to create this to-do list, how to add functionality, and how to set delete and update and mark completed and another features. So let's start discuss about to-do list. First of all, this is my to-do list title, and this is the input box, and this is task add button, and this is a delete button, and this is a update button, and this is a mark button. Okay, so basically I write the something input box. So I am going and click this add button. So my task is add successfully, again I write something, and again click I add button, and my task added successfully. Again I click coding and click add button. Show the pop-up, task add successfully, and add a task list coding. Okay, when I click this delete button, so task is delete successfully, task successfully. Again I click task delete successfully. Again I click task delete successfully. Again I write something. First of all add, and then update function I show. I am just add I am. Click this add button, and task add successfully, and click this edit button. So open my task in input box. I and same thing I edit this I am Arif. Okay, and click this add button, and task is added, and show this task update successfully. Now task update successfully work fine. And then I click this checkbox and show this, and my all task is crossbar. So same I click again and remove, I click again when I click this. Okay, so this is my basic UI and basic functionality. And let's start discuss about code. So first of all, open my VS Code. So this is my to-do list main folder, and inside the to-do list folder and public src, this is a React when I install this React app, and this folder is default folder, and all the folders are just default folder. Inside the folder I create a component folder, and inside the component folder I created three components. So this is my loader component. When API call in server, API send a request in server, then this time show is page is loading. So when API call is server, this time show is loading, and basically show is loading, and then I create a to-do list app. So first of all I create a use state hooks. I use state hooks, or first of all I use a use state hooks. Set set update state is false. So first of all set false, and then again to update the task id and set the task id, and tasks and set tasks, and list add set list. This is a use state I use. And last thing is loader, set I loading page. Okay, this is my use effect. This use effect used to basically get this data, and I request this API, I request this URL, I request this API URL, and this API URL fetch this API and get this response this data. I when the API response send the response is data, I set the set list, and and set loader is false. Okay, so basically set loader is first time true. When I API send a request, my page is loading, and then API send API when I request is completed and send data, then this time I set a list data, set list, and pass the data, and page loading is false. And any request, and when I API request, but some backend error, so show this error. And then I create a add task function. So first of all this is my add task function. First of all I check the input box is empty, and then user is clicks add button. I check this task is empty or not. When this task is empty, so show this warning, and then and return. Else else input box is not empty. I first of all I face this URL, and I face this URL, and I request post request, and then task is title, and set the ID, and same thing set the ID, and then set the data and set the list data. new id equal to 1 and title equal to task, and task is completed, and this my old task I space the I use spread operator. Okay, and task is I when again set is my empty, input box is empty. Const handed delete function. Handed delete function is set a data, and I create a set a data. I handed delete function I create another page and pass these pops. So update task I first of all I send a data and id, and update task is first time true, and set data console.log id and update id, and this update task function is I pass a pops in task component. In this is my delete function. First of all I get a id which taxes I delete, and this id is filter, then I filter, then this id in delete. When this I filter, this id is delete, and again return this after filter return this list and set this list. Okay, and return a toast notification delete is successfully. Okay, so now I and my app tasks to do app tasks component. I another component is task component. This task component rendered to my to do apps component. I pass this list props and handle delete and update tasks and handle tasks completed and updated. I pass these pops. Okay, and this is my add task component, and this is my open this task component. This is my delete task. I pop this all pops. The delete function basically delete the task and checkbox. So when I click the checkbox is tick, and again I click this checkbox is untick. Okay, so this is my basic component I create, and then now open my css. So this is my css core. This is my css full ui page container. Set the weight and height margin auto, and I set a box shadow, and I set a box shadow and header, title, border width and border radius, padding I add, and this is basic css and basic css. So same thing, create a list. I create a list and list style, border, margin, background color, position and delete button. So this is my basic css, and check this my package.json. I use a react toastify, no react toastify. This is a dependency. I use react toastify dependency. So this is my basic project and functionality. So thank you for watching this video. Like and comment, subscribe my